The fly I have in a vise is one of my favorite flies for one of my favorite type of fishing, and that is fishing the shallower sandhill lakes and the lakes along the interstate of I-80 that hold bass and catfish. Um, I like to fish this fly at dark or in the dusk, and the bass really seem to like it. And at that time, the catfish are out on the prowl, and I have some really good takes on from catfish also. And it's so much fun because you catch an 8 pound catfish on your fly rod. It's a hoot. This is a simple fly to tie, um, as well as fish. I'm going to start out with a size 8 long shank streamer hook. And as you can see, I have wrapped it with black, and that's 140 denier black thread. For the body, I'm going to use um, black, dark peacock Estes Sparkle Chenille. And I'm going to start by pulling some of these shiny fibers off so I can tie it down to the shank of my hook and you don't have a lot of bulk. Then I'm going to carry the thread forward and then wrap the chenille up the shank, leaving a little bit at the front so you have room to tie your head on. And then I'm going to tie that off and clip it. Now I'm going to use a strip of black rabbit zonker, and I'm going to, the leather part of the strip is going to be approximately 1.25 inches long. You can make it whatever size you really want to make it. And I've clipped this in the point in the front, and when you cut a zonker strip, don't cut it off, just cut the leather part at the bottom so you have the fur overhanging. If you cut it straight off, that won't leave you over any overhang fur. So I've wrapped the thread back to the rear of the hook to where I want to tie on my zonker strip. And the way you judge this is that point is going to want to be right at the eye or a little bit behind the eye of the hook. So just hold that zonker strip and make a turn around it like that. And then I take a little super glue and add to the leather of that strip and push it down against the body. Now, I'm going to work this up, my thread up, and tie that zonker strip down, just like that. Next, take your bodkin and push it under that rabbit fur and pull it up out of the thread that's binding it there. And that'll make your back solid again. You might want to go over it a couple times, making sure you got it all out. And then I'm going to make a couple more wraps just to make sure it's secure. So as you can see, this should be setting in the middle of the back of the fly. So it should lay straight down the back of the fly. Now take some fine Flashaboo, and I really don't even use Flashaboo for this. I use what the girls put in their hair to give it sparkle, because it hangs a lot straighter and it's cut narrower. So I'm going to go ahead and make a V on this with my thread and tie this in, and I want to make sure that half of it's on one side and half is on the other side of your zonker strip. Just kind of pull it down a little bit, just like that. It's kind of being obstinate. It really doesn't matter. There we go. I really think that red glitter in this fly is very important in the fishing of it, or the attraction of it. Next, I'm going to take one of the cheapest black hackles that you have that has long webs on it, and I'm going to trim the base part of that feather off. And then strip that off and tie it in. Then I'm going to wrap this in as a collar, working it forward. Have to use hackle pliers here. And then tying that off. Now lick your fingers and pull this hackle back, and tie this backwards, making that hackle fall back against the fly. So you want that collar coming backwards, like that. And I'm going to trim some of these pieces off. Whip finish it. And then do a little bit more trimming. Like that right there. And that is a very, very good fly for largemouth and channel cats. If you want to, you can cut these off so that they're about the length of the tail. And then add a drop of head cement to secure it all down. This fly is not only good for largemouth and catfish, but if you tie it in white with a white sparkle chenille, or even white, just regular chenille with a white zonker strip, you still want to leave the red in it, but that white fly is also very good for little northerns and large wipers. Wipers seem to like white flies, and it makes a very good fly for wiper fishing. I hope you enjoyed and hope to see you again. Thank you.